Welcome back, team, to the day 3 of performance testing using LoadRunner. So let's have a quick look at today's agenda. As a part of today's session, we'll have a quick recap of day 1 and day 2, and then we'll move on to the LoadRunner architecture. We'll try to see what LoadRunner is all about and how it is. Okay, and then we'll move on to the installation. How can we install LoadRunner, and we'll have a look at a couple of tools that come along with LoadRunner, and then we'll look at the performance testing strategy. And then we will move on to test scenario creation. We have a template which we will be going through, which I'll be walking you through the template, and then we'll try to put in some stuff over there and create our test scenario. That's what in a nutshell we'll be discussing about today. So LoadRunner architecture. Even before that, we'll have a recap of day 1 and day 2. Day 1 is basically more of IT Learn's training modus operandi. That is how we operate at IT Learn, like how we train the participants to get onto the speed to the market, how we train them, and what is the training structure, what is LoadRunner, and what are the projects that we are going to work on. These are all discussed as a part of day 1, and then while moving on to day 2, even before moving on to day 2, like we did discuss about the project, and on day 2 we did see a complete flow from creation or analysis to analysis, what I can say. So when you get a requirement, we did try to understand the application first. We had gone through the application, the functionalities, by picking up a specific functionality, and we did see what it is, and then we did try to understand how to create tests in LoadRunner. As we all know, as we have discussed in the day 2, there are three main components. One is the virtual user generator, and the second one is the controller, and the third one is analysis. So analysis is, so virtual user generator is to create the virtual users. Basically it is used to create the script. If any one of you is having some idea on functional testing tools like QTP, you will be knowing what is record and playback. So that can be done using our virtual user generator. So day 2 we had concentrated on learning all the three components. One is virtual user generator, second one is controller, and the third one is analysis. So you can go back and find the videos on YouTube. We will be having performance testing using LoadRunner day 2. If you use that search tag, you will get the day 2 video as well. You can go through it. Okay, as a part of the recap, virtual user generator is the component. LR is based on these three components. Virtual user generator is a component, or you can say is a tool which will help us to create the script. So controller will help us to create the scenarios. So we did see the other day what a scenario is. Okay, a scenario is nothing but the script plus number of users, or number of parallel systems you want, or parallel users or simultaneous users you want. So You create your script using virtual user generator, and then you create your scenario using your controller. So what sort of scenario, what is a scenario? A scenario is nothing but the script plus number of users. And the third one is, and you use your controller to basically run the script. Okay, once you create the scenario, you run the scenario from the controller, and you can also analyze your results through controller. However, we will be using the analysis tool that comes with LoadRunner. And also we'll be looking at analysis. Analysis tool is there, or analyzer tool is there, which comes along with LoadRunner, which will help us analyze the test results when we run the scenarios using LoadRunner controller. So what is that we'll be analyzing? We'll be analyzing the test results. So what is that will be a part of the test results? Basically, we'll be seeing a lot of graphs. What sort of graphs? We'll be having graphs for throughput calculation. We'll be having graphs for number of hits per second on the server. Okay, it will be like you have the x-axis, you have time, and y-axis you will be having number of hits. And you can have different sort of graphs. Okay, you can have bar graphs as well. We'll see that. So this is what the analysis tool will help us to do. Okay, so this is what we have discussed as a part of day 1 and day 2 team. Again, I'm repeating this. You can go back, you can go to YouTube and search for performance testing using LoadRunner day 2. Okay, it will fetch the video of day 2. You can go through the day 2 video. You will get a clear idea of the complete process of performance testing, from writing the test cases, identifying the test scenarios and writing the test cases, and then creating the test cases or scripts using virtual user generator, creating a scenario using controller, running the scenario using controller, and then analyzing the results using the analysis tool, which comes along with your LoadRunner. So that's a quick recap of day 1 and day 2. So we'll quickly move on to LoadRunner architecture. So LoadRunner architecture, again we will be insisting on all the 3 components and how for this you can just go to Google as well. No need to worry because it's not that most of the trainers tend to look at Google for this particular picture, but also this is the best one. No point of creating a new one. I'll show you what it is. So we have this. So you can see, you could just go for Google and then you can try out saying Google and then LoadRunner architecture. So this is the best picture. I don't know who had posted this, but most of the trainers tend to use this because this is the best diagram which will explain how LoadRunner works. So if at all, if you go for another picture, you know, it's something like you're deriving that from this. So let's quickly try to understand how load runner works. Okay. So the first point is the control is the central console from which the load test is managed and monitored. So this is the load runner controller. Okay. So what it does, it will act as a central control from which the load test is managed and monitored. How do we monitor and manage? First of all, we need to understand what a scenario is. A scenario, as I said, is script plus number of users, virtual users. Okay, the script is nothing but, if at all, if you're working on login functionality. So logging into the application, like you give your URL, go to the home page, give the username and password, and then click on login button, and then you navigate to your personal page, okay, which will help you to log into the application. So that piece will be recorded and can be enhanced using your virtual user generator, VUGen we call it as. Okay. So once that is over, we will look at the requirements, or else our test strategy or scenario will tell us how many virtual users you're going to run on. So once you're done with this, you'll move on to the controller. So what does this controller do? It will manage this load tests. It will create this scenario for you. Okay. So why is this needed? Because in the real-time scenario, if you could see, there will be thousands and thousands of users who will be simultaneously accessing the application, and it could be the same functionality at the same time, or else it could be the different functionalities. However, we will be seeing a definite load at a particular point on a particular application because of the number of simultaneous users. So we can't go for deploying thousands and thousands of users physically at a particular location and ask them to work on the same application. It does involve a huge infrastructure cost, and also it's practically not possible. So 1000 is a practical number, let's say 1000 users and 1000 missions connecting to the same network and hitting the same server. But imagine an application like eBay or Amazon, or you can go for Facebook. We can see not thousands but even beyond that. You can't even imagine the number of users, simultaneous users hitting the server at the same time are working on the same functionality. So such a scenario cannot be replicated physically. What I mean to say is, you cannot ask 10,000, 20,000 or even beyond that, a million users to sit at one place at different places on different machines and work on the same application, which is practically not possible. So for that, to mimic that with virtual users, we take the help of load runner controller. So what does load runner controller do? It will create the virtual users to perform a real life transaction on the system to emulate the production traffic. It will mimic, or it will replicate the real-time scenario, while the number of hits will be the same as discussed earlier. We said it's practically not possible when we go physically doing this test, but virtually we can do this using our load runner controller. So what it does, it will take the number of virtual users and it will distribute the load. You can see 3 boxes here. Okay, what it does is it will distribute the load. What is distribution? If you have 2 servers here and if you have 2 servers somewhere else, okay, so if you have only one server, there's no point of distribution. If you have multiple servers, Yes, you have to distribute. Like say 10 users on this box, 10 users on this box, and 10 users if at all, if you are looking at 30 users, or else if you're looking at say 90,000, then 30,000 on this, 30,000 on this, 30,000 on this. That's how the load is distributed. First of all, controller will be creating the number of virtual users and then distribute them, okay, which in turn will be working on the application under test. So what it says is real-time monitor captures performance data across all tiers. Okay, when it says all tiers, it is talking about the architecture of the application under test. Okay, all tiers, servers and network resources, and display information on controller. So if at all if we have a database server, and let's say we have an application server or the web server, basically we do a lot of performance testing on websites only, as we do for some standalone which are within the organization and depends upon the organization size. So number of hits on the web server and database server and the front end application. So that's the architecture of the application under test. So first thing first, it will create the number of virtual users, it will distribute across servers, and then it will start running the scenario for us, and finally we look at the results. Okay, the results are stored in a database repository, allowing users to generate reports and perform analysis. So what are these reports? I told you, team, we will be working on creating the graphs so that it will give a better understanding. Okay, we'll look at, as a part of the strategy, we'll look at what sort of graphs we'll be working on, and to get an understanding of what are all the graphs that are there, or that controller will support, or the analysis tool will support, you can look at that in the day 2 video. So that's how loader works. So we'll quickly look at how to get installed, like how to install your load runner. So go to Google. For those who doesn't know anything about how to install load runner, go to Google and say just download and install load runner. It will take you to the HP site. So there are other blogs as well which will help you to install load runner, but however, as a part of the training, if you get any hiccups while installing the load runner tool, we'll help you on that. So what you need to do is go to www.8.hp.com. so this is the site which will help us install the trial version. So in this, pick HP load runner. You can go for a earlier version as well. We are working on 9 right now. We'll move on to 9.5 so that you'll get to see the differences, and then we'll move on to the latest version. Okay. So this is it. We need to give the first name, last name, and an email. Okay, no need to bother much about the company. Just give a sample name over here. Still, HP is generous enough to give us the product, which is a trial version. So once you fill this and once you click on the terms, I accept, saying that to the terms of the service, then it will ask you if you want to download. If you click S, it will download a zip file, uninstall that, and install that and extract the files, and you will have a load runner setup file. So I'll show you that. So we'll be having a load runner setup file. Like this. You need to just click on that, double click on that. So it will help you run all the tools along with load runner. Okay. You'll have a set of documentation or a readme file which will help you basically to install your load runner. Okay. So what are the steps? So first one is go to, it's simple, it's as simple as this. You need to Google for download and install your HP load runner. Okay. So first step is Google for load runner, then pick the URL www.8.hp. I'll get the URL for you. Or else you can straight away go to this URL. And then click on downloads. Extract the zip folder files onto your local machine and click the, I should say double click the load runner setup file. So once you're done with that, what would you get? You will get your load runner installed. Okay. So go to the programs and then you can find load runner over there. You can see the documentation. So this is the one which will start your load runner. Okay. And from this you can navigate to all the three tools which we did talk now. The VuGen controller, and the third one is analysis tool. Okay. So these are the three applications, or these are the three components which I was talking about: analysis, controller, and VuGen. Okay, there is a set of documentation available for us which you can go through, and sample is the sample HP web tools application. Even before working on this application, you need to start the web server. Okay, you can see that in the bottom corner, bottom right corner, this is the server that got started. So after that you can start using the HP web tools application. Basically it's a application or a website which will help us to book the tickets. It's a travel website, cancel the tickets, search for flights, and we have in the tools we have load runner agent, runtime setting configuration. This will help us basically to set the server. This is the backbone for the controller, what we can say. And the password encoder will help us to encode the password. If you have something like this as the password, so if you say generate, it will encode the password for you. Okay. I'm just answering a question to one of our teammates. Kartikeyan. He is asking about the day 1 and day 2 sessions. He didn't, he couldn't attend. So for the best benefit of the team, you can go back and search for performance testing using LoadRunner. Day 1 and day 2 videos are available on YouTube. You can go through them. Okay. So coming back to the tools, password encoder is one tool which will help us to encode the password so that this can be the input for your script. So while writing the scripts using virtual user generator, we'll see the best benefit of this password encoder. For now, what you need to understand is whatever the password is there that you have to give it here, and you will get an encoded string. It will get encoded, and you can just copy it and paste it wherever you need. Usually we'll paste it in the script, okay, while using the virtual user generator to generate the scripts. So going back to our programs, LoadRunner, and then what else do we have? LoadRunner icon, which basically helps us to launch the LoadRunner. Check for updates. This is for automatic updates. And README will give you a detailed information about LR, and a short tutorial is also available. And this is the agent service which we did see, okay, in the tools. Both are same. So that's to configure, and this is the one which we can directly go and see that. So we'll just have a quick look on LoadRunner. Day 5 session, I'll help you. Like for the day 5 session, you need to get your LoadRunner installed. And team day 5 is a paid session. Sorry, day 4 onwards, they are paid sessions. So you can go to IT eLearn, and you can pay for the live sessions and attend day 4 sessions onwards. And for those who cannot make it to the live sessions, they can buy the videos as well. So the same content will be recorded and will be given. Okay. For those who want to practice either with the live sessions or with the demos, they have to install LoadRunner. So get your LoadRunner installed, and if you face any hiccups, I will try to help you in day 4. And for those who are buying the videos, they can just shoot us back an email. We'll try to help you in person, and also we'll be having a session on the weekend on every week to clear the doubts for those who will be buying the videos. For those who cannot opt because of the timings or because of the location or because of something and does have interest in the sessions, they can go for buying the videos, and then you can attend the doubt session to clear your doubts. And on the fly you can shoot the mails, or else you can post the queries in the forum in IT eLearn. Okay. So coming back to LoadRunner, so these are the 3 components. Okay. So if you click on each one of these, it will help you launch that particular application. So we can see HP VU Gen here getting launched. Okay. And run load test will launch your controller, and analyze load test will launch your analysis tool. So this is the analysis tool. We cannot look at the controller right now. There's an issue with the license. So we will have that license, but not as a part of the training. But as a part of the training, we'll be having the trial license only. I'll tell you how to keep it and how to keep on practicing till the end of the course or beyond that. I'll tell you. There's a trick over there. I'll tell you how to do that. No need to worry. You will have the tool until the end of the course and beyond that as well. Okay, you need to do some manipulations. Okay, but we'll be working on the trial version. Licensed version is very costly. I'll just give an example, like 10,000 users, it will cost you around 80k. Okay, so this is the analysis tool. So we'll get into details when we work on these from day 4 onwards. So this is a brief introduction or a brief discussion. That's what I can say about load runner architecture and installation and tools. We'll get into details of load runner architecture on day 4, and also we'll work on our project as well. So now we'll move on to the performance testing strategy. So even before we start our load testing or performance testing, basically, because performance testing itself does have many types of performance testing, again, load testing, stress testing, endurance testing, these are all nothing but the branches, or you can say the categories of performance testing, depending upon the conditions that you apply on the application under test, and depending upon, like, say, if at all, if you're looking at load test, it's nothing but adding loads at regular intervals. Okay, it's something like if your requirement says that there are 300 users, there should be 300 users, you start with 10, 20, 30, likewise, or else 100, 200, 300. At regular intervals, regular amount of loads will be added. Okay, so if you look at stress testing, we look at the yield point of the application. Yield point in the sense at what point the application might get crashed, or at what point the application might break down and the backup server will shoot up. So what is this backup server concept? We'll deal in detail at a later point in the next sessions. So we'll be looking at, basically, we'll be looking at the yield point. So what we do usually, we'll not talk about the uniform loads here. Okay, there will be no uniformity in the loads that the application is subjected to. Rather, we might start at 300, which is the point, which is the top limit. Okay, so that is stress testing, and all these will be as a part of your strategy. So what is the strategy? Strategy at a high level is the first point for your performance testing and the performance testing life cycle. So you start developing a test strategy first, and then you will go for scenario creation, and then you will go for test cases, writing the test cases or designing the test cases, and then you will start working on the tool. So that's step by step, activity by activity, or phase by phase, activity by activity in a phase, okay, and phase by phase in the performance testing life cycle. Okay, so having said that, we'll quickly look at the strategy, performance testing strategy. So we have a revision history, basically, who had written this, and what is the organization, what is the location, and then again current planned version, and if at all someone is reviewing that, who is going to review that, and what are the review comments will also be a part of your revision history. Okay, and then we'll have a table of contents. So team, no need to worry about this. We'll prepare this is to give you a walkthrough of how a performance testing strategy will look like. However, we will write our own strategy for our own application for the project which we work on from day 4. Okay, so what is the purpose of this document, and what are the different requirements, defining the requirements. Okay, so this will, team, let me tell you, this piece will tell you what sort of scenarios should be created, what is the business usage, and what is the protocol you'll be picking. In day 2 we got a chance to look at the protocols, right? Whether it's HTTP, or else if you're working on a different application like DB2, okay, what sort of protocol should be picked. So those will be decided upon in the protocol engine, and what should be the response size and what should be the response time. So what is the bandwidth and what are the browsers. So maximum number of virtual users and maximum load time in hours. We did discuss this maximum load time and maximum virtual users in day 2. So please go through the day 2 video for those who didn't attend this session earlier. Okay. And then you can come back and look at the day 3 video. So maximum virtual users, we try to identify it as a part of the scenario, and maximum load time also. Okay. So this will help us basically to understand how to create a load runner scenario. So what should be there in a load runner scenario, and then we'll move on to what will be done. So a few seconds back I was telling you team, like what type of testing should be done as a part of load, as a part of performance testing. There are different categories I told you. So load testing, stress testing, reliability testing. We'll see what reliability testing is. Okay, it's nothing but constantly increasing the loads or subjecting the application or a test to a constant load over a period of time. So we check the behavior over a period of time. Okay. And also if you have endurance testing, we'll include that as well. Okay, so these are the different type of categories which we'll be concentrating. Okay, that will be listed as a part of your strategy. So how many phases will be there? The process will be identified, and then we'll talk about the schedule. As a whole, if you look at the strategy document, or else if you prepare the strategy document and someone else is looking at your strategy document, he'll get a clear picture as of how your testing, how your performance testing is planned, okay, and how is it going to be implemented. Okay, so the section 2 will tell you what type of scenarios to be created. Section 3 will tell you what sort of testing should be done and how you're going to do that, and what is the schedule, and also the analysis part. How do you measure the result? Okay, that will be a part of your performance test strategy. So let me tell you team again, this is the first point of your project. When you see day 1 you got deployed in a project and you're supposed to do performance testing for a particular application, then you're supposed to prepare your performance test strategy. Okay, it also can be some of the teams will be working on performance test plans. Okay, so your strategy talks about your requirements, your number of virtual users, bandwidth, what is that you're looking at, like throughput, response times, and also it will tell you what sort of tests should be done. Okay, so the first document is this as a part of the project activity. So we'll look at already created document. However, we'll create one document for our application as well going further. So what is the purpose? Performance testing measures the reliability and responsiveness of the systems. Okay, so it's basically an introduction of what performance testing is and what we'll be looking at: speed, scalability, and stability. Okay, so defining the requirements. So what is the need for going for the performance testing will be your business usage. Okay, so what is the tenure and what is the maximum load? Okay, and then we'll be picking up the protocol engine. So what is the protocol you're going to follow? So if you could go to a new user, okay, using your virtual user generator, there are a list of protocols here. Okay, these are the popular protocols and you have all protocols. If you select that, you can see all the protocols. Okay, so in this strategy, as a part of our current project activity, we are developing the performance strategy for our application, and we need to list out what protocol will be taken up while creating your scripts using virtual user generator. So This is the one which we'll pick up using the virtual user generator. Okay, so this is for basically creating the scripts. And where is it listed? It's listed in your strategy document. Okay, so as I said, team, in the next session we'll be working on our own strategy document for our own application. This is like a template for you. So the bandwidth of on which the performance test should be done. Okay, again in day 2, if you could recollect, I did show you how to pick the bandwidth. Do we want to go for the maximum bandwidth, or else you have a specific number as such? Okay, so that I did explain in day 2 session. However, we'll do that again in the next session. So response size or page download size, you're going to mention that, and response time, what is the application response time, how much time it is taking to give an information back when you're asking something on your website. For example, say if you're logging in by giving your valid credentials or username and password, what credentials mean. So what is the time taken for the page to get refreshed and log in to your account? So what is the time taken from the moment you click on login to the moment where you get onto the home page, your account page? Okay, so what are the maximum virtual users? Okay, this will tell you how many virtual users can be there. So where can you get all these details? You can get all these details from your requirement documents. Okay, basically the non-functional requirements, and coming to performance testing, these will be listed as a part of your requirement documents, and straight away you can pull them onto your strategy document, and this will be your input to the next subsequent phases or activities. Maximum load time in hours. Okay, and then what will be done? We did discuss this, what sort of tests will be done as a part of our performance testing on this particular application. Okay, so here we have listed load test, stress test, and reliability test. We might remove 1 or 2 here and add 1 or 2. Okay, like we can add endurance testing as well, as I told you, team. Okay, so what is the process? Phase 1, finding the scenarios and preparing the performance test scenario document. That's one more document which we will see. This is a template for the performance test scenario document, which we'll try to create once we create the strategy document in session 4 or day 4. And then we'll try to develop the test scripts, executing the test scripts using what component we will be developing the scripts? Using virtual user generator. And we'll create the scenarios using the controller, and we'll try to execute the scripts. We can analyze the test results with controller and also using your analysis tool. So we'll be picking up the analysis tool, which we did see earlier. Okay, and we'll put in the schedule as well, because this will decide upon what has to be done on a particular day. Okay, and who is responsible for that. So team, here as a part of the project activity, we'll have our own schedule. Okay, and we'll go as per the schedule. So what we'll do here is, instead of this table, we will append that Excel file which will tell us the schedule. Okay, and analysis. So increasing the virtual users to test and measure the application response time. So this is one factor. Response size is one factor. Okay, likewise there are other factors as well which we are going to consider depending upon the category of the test which we are going to pick. And this is a example, increasing the virtual users and measuring the application response time. Okay, so this is the protocol which we did pick up, and this is the response size, response time, and number of virtual users. Where do you get this from? Once we run the scenario from the controller tool or the controller component of LoadRunner, okay, we'll get to see such type of tables and also such sort of graphs. Okay, so we did pick up one more. So basically these are picked from the JMeter. Using JMeter, JMeter is another open source tool which will help us to do the performance testing. However, we'll have these for LoadRunner as well. So day 4, we will move on to create our own test strategy for LoadRunner for our application under test. Okay, and also in the subsequent session we'll create the strategy, we'll create the scenario document, we'll create the scenario report document, and based on the scenario document we'll create our test cases, and we'll use virtual user generator component to create the scripts. We'll use LoadRunner controller to create the scenarios that we had listed in the scenario document, and then we execute them. We analyze the results using the analysis tool, and we check whether they are in par with our strategy document and scenario document. Okay, finally we export the results and then we share the results with our stakeholders or the clients. Okay, that's how the different phases go, or the different activities and different phases will be in the performance testing life cycle. So having said that, we'll quickly wind up today's session, team, and we will hopefully will meet on day 4. So you can buy the videos as well if at all, if you cannot make it to the live sessions. Okay, you can go to IT eLearn site and you can buy the videos there, or else you can opt for the live sessions as well. Okay, for those who are going to buy the videos who cannot make it because of the timings or location, you will be having separate sessions over the weekends for clearing the doubts. Having said that, a big thank you for everyone for putting in your time and attending this session.